Hey Amplifier, I'm Rachel and I'm your tool of the month. Today we're going to talk about the A tool. This is Ivy, my assistant. Today we're going to talk about the A tool, or the officer's tool, as it's also known. There's also a variation called the Rex tool, which just is a little bit thicker up here. But whatever one you have, they all function very similar. This is part of a forcible entry set of through the lock forcible entry. So we'll use that type of forcible entry when we don't want to do either a whole lot of damage, or we want to keep the flow path intact, things like that. So a lot of times this will be used for the style of lock that you can see here, which is a Mortise style lock or a rim lock. And those are going to fit into the door. Usually on a commercial set, it's going to fit into the door in the edge. As you can see on this prop right here, they fit into the door like this. Usually there's going to be an aluminum frame, and then glass is common in these type of doors. So we might not want to do the normal forcible entry on this. We don't want to break the glass potentially, because we could be creating a flow path, or if there's security bars over the glass, it doesn't really gain us access. We still have to get cut through the security bars. It also might be more beneficial for us to use through the lock if it's just like a lockout type situation, where the only thing we're interested in is breaking the lock, as opposed to making them replace the entire door if we use like the circ saw or the irons. So the main function of the A tool is to remove the cylinder that's going to get us access to the internal mechanism, and then we can manipulate the lock. So I just talked about the commercial setup. The similar setup that the A tool still can be used for is the deadbolt type residential lock here, as you can see here. So on the commercial, a lot of times, I didn't have one, but a lot of times there will be a silver security ring around this portion right here, and that is okay. The A tool will defeat that. If it doesn't, you could use something like a screwdriver and pry it off before you try to use the A tool. But either way, the security lock should not keep you from being able to pry out the cylinder. So Ivy will show us here, will help me here show you. So there's two prongs on this side, right? It's kind of like a pry bar with two prongs. So we want to get these prongs behind our cylinder. Okay, so the cylinder is seated inside our Mortise here. We'll just have to use our imagination because they aren't together at this point. So if I have a really wide one, I'm gonna have to start up higher and kind of work my way down. But for this one, we're just gonna slide it in to where we can't anymore. And then I'm gonna have Ivy come behind me and strike with the axe, strike. And then at this point, we're pretty well set up. There's nothing holding us in the prop, so that was pretty easy. You might have to take a couple strikes on an actual door, but we're behind the cylinder, as you can see. So with this lock, all I have to do is pry up, and it should pop the cylinder out. So I'm gonna pretend to do that here. And then my cylinder is out. So on most of these locks, this one here is a Mortise style lock, and you can tell when you pull it out by the back. I'll talk about more about that in a minute. But the only thing holding this in is two pins on the side. There's a groove here that holds a pin, and then there's a groove here that holds a pin, and then it's screwed in. So it's really not that difficult to pop out. You just have to break those two screws, and then potentially you could break those two screws and then use channel locks and unscrew it. But the A tool should do that full portion for you. So now that we have our cylinder out, we need to go to the second part of the A-tool. Most of them have a little slot in here that can hold the second half, which is the key tool. A couple other ones have their own dedicated pouch that holds our key tools. They can either be little guys like this, or the more classic L-shaped key tool here, and I'll show you guys how to use that. So the Mortise style lock that we have here, we've just accessed the inner mechanisms by removing our cylinder with the A-tool. Now we need to figure out what style of Mortise lock we have. So this style I have here just has a plunger that will manipulate the latch back and forth. With this one, it's easy. I can use my finger. I don't even need the key tool if I don't want to. Or if maybe I have too big of a finger to fit in there, then I could use the key tool. Just find that little latch, pull it back, and I can open the door. This is just one style, however. There are a couple more styles of Mortise lock, the dropping deadbolt, the latch type. So I have a picture here, since I don't have the actual mechanism itself. I have a picture of the dropping deadbolt type. So this one, as you can see, our cylinder goes right here. Our deadbolt drops down and comes up right here. And then the latch, the part we want to manipulate, is right here. So if I found this lock here, I would insert my key tool in this area, maybe either in that hole or right on top of this bar right here, and I push it down and turn it up to bring it to the other side of the smiley face. So this little bar I want to be over here, and this will drop my my deadbolt down. So there are several different ways. Those are just two that I can show you. Some actually have two steps, where you might have to pull back the plunger here, and then there's a second little plunger up top that you pull down, and it will manipulate the lock. So it might just take a little bit of playing with it to see what actually works. If you want to see an actual live in person one of these locks here, there's one at training under the training prop in the glass door. Okay, so that is the Mortise style. If you pull the cylinder out and you see this really long piece on the back, you can compare it to our Mortise. This is a rim lock, right? So what it looks like on the other side is this here, and it's just a lock that attaches to the inside of the door. And so the mechanism is actually not part of the door, it's just attached to the outside. So if I see this guy or this guy, I'm gonna know that I have a lot further to reach in through the door. So I'm gonna use this half of my key tool, reach it all the way in, and it's usually either a little X or just like a flat slot that this will go into, and then I can manipulate the locking mechanism from there. Okay. So that's a little bit about the commercial type of locking mechanism. The A-tool and the key tool can both be used on a residential style lock as well, and we can show you that here now. So I have what would be the outside of a residential deadbolt lock, and we're going to manipulate that very similarly as we would our Mortise cylinder up here. So what I want to do is get the little forks on my A-tool. I want to get that behind my lock. And then same as the other one, I'm gonna have my partner come in here and give a couple blows. Strike. Nice. Okay, so from here, if we have like a really solid, strong door, then I can just fulcrum up and just break out the two screws that hold it in, and it'll just pop out. It might take a couple tries, but it should pop out. If you have a really weak door, like maybe you just have like a cheap plywood veneer over the top that is going to break if I try and fulcrum, I'll have my partner slide the blade of the axe in behind, and now I have something to fulcrum against that won't break the door, and I should just be able to pop up and break it off. and you've accessed. And then now you've accessed the internal mechanism. So we're gonna come over here to this other prop. And I just have a couple different versions of what these might look like, all of which can either be manipulated with your hand, in this case, or potentially, or the key tool here. Oops, I get this one wrong. There we go. So this one, I figured out that the mechanism is just pulling back on this latch here, so I can use my key tool, pull back on the latch, and it will open the door. So this one here is going to be more the deadbolt style, and so I have this locking mechanism here. I can just switch back and forth. We unlock the deadbolt, and same thing here. We have this little square guy up here. Eventually. Shit. Okay, we may have to edit this one. Oh, there we go. Okay. So this guy, we'll just use this end of the key tool, and we can manipulate the lock and open it up. So that is the A tool, and it's the companion key tool. Hopefully that was beneficial for you. Thank you to Captain Bridges for lending me his expertise in all of this and helping me out a lot. And my husband Greg for helping me make the props. I hope you guys have a great day.